Hey Sainers, welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Hope you're all having a great week so far. It's been 7 rounds of Ross Lyon footy, and I thought just kind of wanted to do a video about what I've noticed, the key learnings, I guess the key takeouts that I've walked away with after the first 7 weeks. There's enough of a sample size there to kind of be like, okay, we've done that. And what's really jumped out to me. So hopefully you enjoy the video. If you do, if you already like the channel, please like, comment your thoughts as well, your key learnings from the first 7 weeks, and obviously subscribe as well. That'd be awesome. So I've jotted down, I've gone really professional today. I've written down some notes on what's jumped out to me, and so far I've landed on 6. I'm probably going to miss many, but these are kind of the key things that first popped to mind when I thought about, okay, how's the first 7 weeks gone? Because pre-season, it was a bit of a worry. We had some injuries. We didn't know what to expect, whether Ross Lyon still had it, whether our players were capable of learning off someone like Ross Lyon, and if it was going to take more than a season to really see the best of this new sort of structure and regime. So first one off the bat, and I think it's the one that really has kind of allowed us all to exhale, have a bit of a deep breath and go, okay, we're in good hands. And that's number one, Ross Lyon can coach still. Now, obviously, it's not just Ross Lyon, first of all. I just want to clarify. It's obviously, he's got a big help with a lot of very, very good assistant coaches. Obviously, Corey Enright's well talked about. Robert Harvey, Lenny Hayes, Brendan Goddard. He's got a lot of help. David Misson now back on board. Obviously, Nick Walsh, but now he's departed. So he's had a lot of help, and he's taken the reins back a little bit from what he used to do. He said that himself, that he was quite controlling in his first stint at St Kilda coach, and this time around he's really allowed Robert Harvey, Lenny Hayes, Brendan Goddard, Corey Enright, all these guys to really drive the game plan, and then he's kind of managing them. So it's been a really good team effort, but just in terms of even game day specific coaching, I think we're really, really, fortunate enough to have, to me, one of the top 3 coaches in the league at the moment. Where he ranks in that top 3, I don't know, but I rate him very highly. And I think Ross Lyon has obviously come in with a different style. A lot of people thought, great, we're going to see a lot of defensive football, which to an extent we have. But he's added a bit of attacking flair. We're using our pace. He said we can run, and he wants to see us run. And he's making us run and run hard and run harder than the competition so far. So he's given that insight, and he's stuck to it. He hasn't just fluffed around. He's really said, this is what we're good at, and I'm going to really drive it into the boys. And so far, you'd have to say, big tick there for Ross Lyon and his coaching. Number 2, defense is king still. It's, that goes hand in hand with Ross Lyon defensive football. And it's not just like defensive flood, Paul Roos, Sydney football. It's just really accountable, really one-on-one, really tough contested football. And you look at our wins this year, they've come off the back of that, but with a bit of speed going the other way and really just turning that ball over and going fast, slingshot footy down the other end. And then alternatively, in the couple of losses that we've had, by 6 points to Collingwood, by 7 points to Port Adelaide, 13 points combined against 2 very good teams, our defence has really stood up and given us a chance at winning that game. And you have, Max King or, a couple of players that have been injured in those lineups for those games. The results might have gone either way, but you have to give credit to the defence. They've stood tall in every single game. I think 83 points that Port Adelaide kicked on the weekend is the highest that we've conceded this season. Our defence is ranked number 1 by an absolute mile, and you have to say that Cal Wilkie is an All-Australian contention, as is Jack Sinclair. And then you've got Josh Battle, Dougal Howard in probably career best form. You've got the new recruit in Liam Stocker. And then, the best of Nasai Wanganeen Malira so far in his career this season. So everyone in the back half is playing career best football, you'd have to say. And that's full credit to what Corey Enright's done. But obviously the defence itself has really stood up in the heat of the battle when we've really needed them to. Number 3, extended off the defence, is this collective lift from the football club, on and off the field, but really we'll talk about on the field specifically for this video, that every player, you'd have to say, has gone up that 5 to 10%. And Max and Jordan spoke to GT last week, Grant Thomas, on Tuesday night. So if you haven't watched that, please do. But they did ask about this, and his answer was very similar to mine in that, it's not one or two players really lifting the weight and carrying the team over the line. Like we'd have to say has been the case the last couple of years. It's a collective 5, 10, even 15% improvement on everyone else. You look at someone like Liam Stocker, brilliant as a back pocket. Hunter Clark in the midfield, again, definitely gone up that 20% that we wanted him to. Jack Higgins, he's been really effective in the forward half. Rowan Marshall has gone from strength to strength to strength every game this year. Unbelievable form. All-Australian ruck. He's got his sights on. Absolutely. Brad Crouch, back to career best form. Mason Wood, Ronnie Burns. These guys on the wing. And obviously most publicised, Brad Hill. You look at Brad Hill from last year, pretty much up until Ross Lyon turned up, and he wasn't the Brad Hill that we thought we were recruited. We've now got that Brad Hill. He's running, but he's chasing. He's at least getting 2 smothers a week. It's all these 1%ers that just add up across the board. And I know I've missed a lot of plays. Even Dougal Howard for me has gone up a notch. And we're not relying on Jack Steele to deliver these amazing performances for us to get us over the line. We're not relying on Max King kicking 5 goals because he hasn't played. We don't have that superstar that's really just getting us over the line in these games. It's really everyone putting their foot forward and doing what's right for the team and putting their body on the line. So we've really instilled this, next man up mentality. And I think without that, we wouldn't have been able to get through all the injuries that we've had, the way we've had. So for me, that collective effort's been very, very evident, and it's got me really excited for the remainder of the year. Number 4, the youngsters. Now, Mateus Filippo, we drafted, pick 10. Very happy with that. The existing youngsters we got, Nasai Wanganeen-Malira last year, Marcus Winhager, Mitch Owens, who could win the Rising Star this year. I'm not even kidding. He's probably second or third favourite at the moment. He's a big chance of taking that out. And then I'm probably missing a couple there, but Max King's considered a youngster. He hasn't played, but all of them have stood up. All of them have done their job. For Mateus Filippo to come in and have the first 6 or 7 weeks that he's had, he's petered off the last couple of weeks, but for him to come in and really bring a bit of X factor, a bit of confidence, a bit of swagger in his first 7 games, unbelievable. Mitch Owens, he's taken the competition by storm this year. Marcus Winhager just doing what he's been asked. He hasn't had it easy this year. He's been the sub a few times, but every time he's played, he's been clean, he's been class, and he looks like a very, very promising player. And then Nasai Wanganeen-Malira, off half back, finding the footy. He looks like he belongs now. He's signed on for 2 more years, which was a big thing for us. It's the next wave of St Kilda stars that we're seeing here, and it's really, really promising to see that they're all gelling and coming through at the same time. It's not one or another. It's all 5 of them are coming through together, and they're going to continue to do that for the rest of their careers, which is exciting times for St Kilda supporters. Number 5, fitness and running capacity. That is probably the most talked about thing with St Kilda outside of our defence and outside of, I guess, Ross Lyon's structure and his system. That's what everyone talks about. But for me, the system and the structures don't work unless the fitness and running capacity is up to scratch, and even more than up to scratch, probably the best in the comp. We've got probably 12 or 13, maybe 14 players on the list that can run, sub probably 3Ks in under 9 minutes or 10 minutes. Absurd. Ronnie Burns, Mason Wood, Marcus Winhager, all these sort of guys in absolute tip-top fitness shape, and they've pushed players like Hunter Clark over that edge as well, where you can see the amount of kilometres that he's covering. Filippo is averaging about 14 or 15 Ks per game. He's 19. Obviously, the football speaks for itself. It's not just about the fitness. It's not just about running up and down, but with the sort of game style that Ross Lyon wants, where you get numbers back, but then you need to slingshot fast forward, that it goes hand in hand. You need to be fit. And there's no one fitter on our team than Mason Wood and Ryan Burns. And for them, they've been in career best. Well, Mason Wood in particular, all-Australian winger at the moment, you'd have to say. And it's not just his ability to go forward, have 20 and kick a goal every week, which he's done about 6 times out of 7. But it's his ability to go back, support the defence, and then become that chop-out and link player on the wing when we need him to. So, that's something that looked good at the first, around this time last year, and we fell away. But this year it just seems a bit more sustainable. And And the best teams are the fittest teams. You know, you look at Melbourne the last couple of years, they run and run and run. Geelong, they just don't stop. So for us to make up the levels on these top teams, I think we've really trimmed that gap, and that's just because of our hard work rate. That's I guess the alternative word I could have used is number 5, work rate. We work our asses off, and that gives us a chance in every single game that we've played so far. And number 6, we've covered injuries. For the most part, I reckon the last week and a half, we've probably seen that we need Max King back sooner rather than later, which is looking like a big chance against Adelaide in round 9. But that's been the key standout among everything else I've just mentioned, is that if you told me pre-season going into this year in the fixture that we had in the first 7 weeks that we'd be top 3, 5 and 2, third highest percentage in the comp, and only lost 2 games by a combined total of 13 points without Jack Steele being his best, without Max King in the team, Jack Hayes in the team, D-Mac in the team, Jack Billings in the team. I'm probably missing a few. Nick Caulfield, these sort of guys. Yeah, I'm telling you, you're joking. Like, I'll take 3 wins out of the first 7 if that's the case with the injuries that we've got, but we've covered them, and it's because of everything that I've mentioned, because of defense is king, because we've kept teams to a low score, so we don't need to kick big scores. Collective lift. When everyone's playing 20% better than themselves from last year, you know that covers star players like Max King. The youngsters standing up. Mitch Owens. He's helped us so much. I mean, Anthony Caminiti too. Sorry, I didn't even mention him in the youngsters. Anthony Caminiti, he's missed the last 2 weeks, but he's been a revelation. And it's these sort of guys that are able to fill the void of these seasoned stars that we're missing at the moment. For me, in this video, those are the top 6 things, Saners. I'll go over them again just so you can comment and let me know what you think your top, sort of standout, I guess, things are for the first 7 weeks. But number 1, Ross can still coach. Number 2, defense is king. Number 3, collective lift across the board. Number 4, youngsters. Number 5, fitness and running capacity, work rate. And number 6, covering injuries. That's it, Saners. That's my my little video. It's off the cuff, so probably not the most prepared, but hopefully you still enjoyed it. I just felt like we've seen 7 weeks of Saints footy under Ross Lyon. What can we take away from that? And you know what? We can take a lot. We can take so much optimism, so much hope, and I guess just excitement from what we've seen, and knowing that getting past this first hurdle of the first 7 weeks at 5 and 2 is just amazing. And hopefully there's going to be more improvements, more refinements, and then obviously more troops getting back into the lineup, namely Max King in a couple of weeks. So I'll wrap it up there, Saners. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like. I'd really appreciate that. Comment your number 1 or 2 key standout things you've taken away from the first 7 weeks. And then most importantly, please subscribe. I'm giving away some Medallion Club tickets this weekend to the North game. So if you haven't subscribed, please do, and you'll go into the running to win 2 Medallion Club tickets for Sunday's game. And then there's obviously more prizes to come in future weeks. So I'll leave it there, Saners. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. And as always, go you mighty Saners. See you guys.